Clint McLaughlin here with Midwest Market Management. Got Riley Sykard here with us, hopping in for April 1st, April Fool's Day. No trickery here today, though. We're going to talk a little bit about Safrinha corn and get into a little bit of weather, what's going on down there, and if it may or may not have any impact on the grain markets here today. How are you today, Riley?
Doing good today. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to look at. So as long as you're ready to go, I think I'm ready to hop right into this.
Yep, I would agree.
So first thing I want to show here, we're looking at this every time. Want to put into perspective the area we're looking at for South America. Areas to watch, Mato Grosso all the way through Paraná. Those are your main areas through central and southern Brazil. Mato Grosso makes about 50% of the Safrinha corn crop. So this is the one that you're really crucially watching. But at the same time, when you look at it at a map, it doesn't portray how big that really is. I mean, 50% of the Safrinha production is almost the entire Midwest. So when people ask what Safrinha weather is, it's not just something that you can shrink down to a one sentence answer because of how big the area is. Clint, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just our purpose here is to try to put things into perspective, both from a geographical standpoint and how much region we're actually talking about, as well as how much actual production comes out of here. Safrinha corn crop is responsible for 3.5 to 4 billion bushels, which is roughly about 18% of the global corn production in a year. So definitely a significant portion of the crop. But as for right now, boy, it just really looks like everything's off to a really good start down there.
Yep, we'll keep moving here. Planting progress. This is as of here on last Friday, 98%. At this point, basically the entire Safrinha crop's in the ground. Some small areas still wrapping things up, but I mean, a 98%, that's right on line with 5-year average. Nothing concerning right now in terms of planting progress down there. Switching right into this. First thing we want to look at, 1 to 5 day. We've mentioned this multiple times. People see highs in the 90s and they get concerned. In South America, hybrids are different, that they can handle heat better. And this is not something that is a stress on the crop over a short period. Clint, you and I talked about that last week as well. A 1 to 5 day outlook with temps in the 90s is not something that's going to stress a corn crop out. It takes repeated days in the 90s to 100s over a multi-week span with no precip. Clint, what do you have to add?
Also, clearly 95 degrees and well-watered is different than 95 degrees with moisture lacking. Also, the stage of the crop is very important here, and we are nowhere near pollination for most of this crop. So, you know, it's in the early stages, and my guess is if you went down there today, you could visibly watch the corn growing.
Yep, stuff right now is anywhere from that V1 to V4 range, not even deciding how big that corn plant's going to be yet. So not at a time where it's critical to be ideal conditions. So 6 to 10 day also proving that that heat's not going to last, kind of getting rid of any doubt of any issues with the production. So temperature looking to be beneficial to the crop and basically a non-factor in terms of adding any premium into the market. Next thing looking at here, last 13 days, you can clearly see South America's had rainfall everywhere. That's crucial. The one area we mentioned last week, Paraná, they were in need of a drink. They ended up getting it. So right now, the only areas that had any risk have seen enough rain to tide them by in the short term, proving once again, like you mentioned, Clint, we could go and put a lawn chair up in a field and watch the corn grow right now, I think.
Yeah.
But surface soil moisture proving a similar thing. There's some areas that are dry, but in the important area like Mato Grosso, they actually have an excess amount of moisture right now. So there's not a huge concern for rainfall at this time. Subsoil showing the same thing. Some areas to the south could use some more, but nothing critical. And this is not unusual for this time to go through a little bit of a dry stretch over the next month or two. It's kind of the seasonal thing for these areas. Looking at here now, 1 to 5 day, some smaller chances of precip, not anything huge, but once again, giving them enough to keep this crop growing at a good pace and keep the plant healthy. Not really anything to get concerned about right now. 6 to 10 day, they had rain in the 1 to 5, so if they miss some in the 6 to 10, still once again, nothing concerning right now. There's absolutely no story right now to the Safrinha crop. Clint, do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at our 6 to 30 or our full 2-week outlook there. Yeah, again, just proving we got more rain coming. Yeah, it's just hard to find anything here to threaten the crop.
Yep. Overall, wrapping up Safrinha, I mean, there's not really anything super concerning right now. It's going forward, we're going to have to see some kind of change, whether that's a lot of heat, whether that's rain getting taken out of the forecast. But if the markets are going to have any type of reaction, it's going to come from something that is not currently in the forecast.
Yeah, absolutely. So, moving forward, we'll keep an eye on it. But again, I mean, the other side of that coin is that, it's weather's in very good condition. So the change would be to a bullish nature if anything were to change. So for the time being, everything's looking really good, and probably nothing more here, Riley.
Nope, that's all I got.
All righty. Well, stay tuned. We will be moving on to U.S. weather here shortly. A little bit early on that, but guys are starting to get going, and we got some pretty heavy rains in the forecast for some areas that probably don't want it right now. So we'll jump into that here shortly, and let you know how the U.S. weather's starting to shape up here first week of April. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.